So recently, I've become pretty fascinated with beef, tea, and YouTuber drama. But more so than the drama itself, I've found myself drawn to the personalities and characters that these conflicts center around. The most recent of these was the Ricescum Jake Paul IRL loot box fiasco. It's no small secret to a lot of people that Jake Paul and Ricescum have been on a downward trend in popularity. But despite the Shane Dawson videos, Jake Paul is still struggling to maintain his relevancy, and since the content cop, Ricescum has become more and more irrelevant as a content creator. I think this is because the content cop made Ricescum re-examine his image and role as an influencer, and I think that made him change the way he presented himself. At least a little bit, whether he wanted to admit to it or not. But after his last video, I think he's done a hard turn in the opposite direction. And I think he's making a turn back towards the more controversial hypebeast persona that got him big in the first place. And I think that's on purpose. For mocking Ethan's mental illness.
It's because he says he's like depressed or something, which really doesn't make sense why he's depressed, honestly, because like, I mean, money isn't everything and fame isn't everything, but like he has both of that. And like YouTube is like a dream job and people would probably want to be in his shoes, so he needs to chill out.
The awful, dehumanizing things he said about Hila.
Because his girl be just so whack. I'm just kidding, I don't know her name, but like for real, she's just so boring, bro. And maybe you're just bored of her or just like surround with some high energy girls, because like you probably can. I mean, you got the money and the clout, right? At the end of the day.
To his all-around general chauvinistic, sexist language and actions.
She'll let me smash, bro. Bro, she'll let me pipe her shit. Yeah, bro, she definitely wants to fuck me. Bro, she low-key got some titties. I think she's 16 to 15. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She got some titties on her, bro.
I think everything Rice said was purposeful and calculated. Rice attacking Hila was a real foul move. He knows it's a low blow, and we all do actually, but he makes that blow pretty pridefully, and then he doubles down on it after, even memeing references to his own misdeeds in the past while doing so.
Boy, he raped you? Nah, but did it feel good though?
She is pregnant.
Nah, but did it feel good though?
No.
Hila and Ethan are no strangers to hate content, and in fact, they've made several videos reacting to that kind of content. I'll bet he knew that even before he made the response, because Ricescum didn't make that video to hate on H3H3. He didn't make it because he's mad, and I don't think he actually means anything he said in it. I think he made this video for one reason and one reason alone. Attention. Because in a world where your popularity is on the decline, any click is a good click. Any press is good press. Because actual good press doesn't even help Ricescum's career near as much as clickbait and controversy do. All of this is because Ricescum is basically the YouTube equivalent of a WWE supervillain like Randy Orton. And honestly, he's not even the first person to do it. People like Dr. Disrespect, Keemstar, Brittany Venti, Leafy, or even iDubbbz himself have built their entire careers off of being obnoxious, antagonizing jerks. The entirety of their personas, careers, and characters are built around the idea of playing up and acting as a character. That character might be a troll, a content cop, a loud, proud announcer, or a stereotypical bad guy, but they all share a lot in common with your stereotypical loudmouth supervillains, right down to the monologues.
So I'm here today to give you that quick reminder that you, watching this video, you are so fucking ugly. Holy hell, get away from me. I don't want your ugliness to rub off on me or something. And I know that you're ugly because you're watching this video.
Just have to end. I mean, shut it down, because I have broken every goddamn rule there is. I'm worse than anyone I talk about. Shut it down, turn the lights off. Am I still gonna finish the video? Oh yeah, well, before I shut it down, I should probably finish this video. Lights on!
Just like The Rock and Triple H. And you know what? People love them for that. And in fact, I find myself to be even more of a fan of Keem and Brittany because I know they're playing characters, and because they play those characters so well. They're being awful on purpose. The difference between people like Keem and people like Ricescum is that Keem isn't actually hurting anyone or influencing them to make poor life decisions. Well, he isn't doing that on YouTube anyway. What Keem does on Twitter is entirely different. If one thing has become increasingly clear since the rise of commentary channels in 2016, it's that YouTubers love drama, and regardless of who you like in any good YouTube beef, there should probably be someone you dislike as well. And people like Ricescum and Jake Paul pretty much play that role to a T. Ricescum only stands to gain more attention from this scenario. Even if he's shown in a negative light throughout it, it doesn't necessarily make him look any worse, because we already know he is the worst. I think one of the last things Rice said makes it pretty evident he plans on dragging this beef out as long as possible, because the longer he stretches this out, even if he is portrayed in a negative light, even if he acts like a villain, he only stands to gain from this conflict. Period. This was a very strategically calculated move, and honestly, I think the best thing for Ethan and Hila to do is ignore it and not respond at all. Any response, negative or positive, would only give Ricescum more popularity. It's better to just let him drop that diss track on deaf ears instead of making a response at all. I think the best thing for H3H3 to do is to let Ricescum respond to silence. Let's be honest, Ricescum makes himself look bad enough, and H3H3 doesn't need to do much to show that. I know this isn't what I usually make, but I still hope you guys got something out of the video. I know I don't usually do commentary, but I thought in this case it might be acceptable, but also I really wanted to given the conflict. I had a lot of things to say, and no one in real life really cares about YouTube drama. But you guys might, so I thought I'd put it here. Usually I cover comic books, video games, horror stuff, that kind of thing, so click on these playlists to see more of that, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your assessment of the situation in the comments down below. Ciao!